I'm the wrong hero.
I gotta go now.
Thank you. Maria Callas singing the Raspberries. Please go all the way. Jim Neighbors singing the Raspberries. I'm the wrong hero. A lot of things make me nervous. Static, because it's God's way of reminding us of the Big Bang. You and small children, because children always say, look at me, look at me. And I always say, no, look at me, I am Sartor. And that tends to make them nervous, and it feeds back, you know. I hate you. I love you. I hate you. I love you. That's cognitive dissonance sign language for postmodernists. Here's the reason why I'm a comedian. You might be interested in hearing this. I flunked metal shop. You know why? Because instead of doing the zip guns that all the juvenile delinquents were doing, I made little men out of solder, and I crushed them in a vice grip all day long, which is sort of what I'm doing now, but kind of translated onto the stage. I'm the wrong hero. I'm not a deconstructionist, but I break things. I'm not a symbolist, but I beat the drums. Some call me Shay Man. They come up to me after the show and they say, Shay Man, you must be on drugs. You without any drugs. Does it ever occur to you? Me either. My car, I just flew in from Australia and I scorched an aborigine with my jetpack. Don't you hate it when that happens? Happens to me all the time. I'm the wrong hero. I hate traffic. I hate movies with 3 friends in them and one of them dies by the end. I hate big band jazz. I hate hot dogs. I hate New York City. I hate banks that won't cash your checks even though the check is drawn on their bank. And I'm just getting warmed up. And I like to hug teddy bears, to write love letters in purple ink, and to hit my therapist at least once a day. In the fez. Because he's an Arab. And he doesn't wear a turban. Otherwise he'd be a Turk. And Turks are pathologically cruel and they smoke opium all day long. No, actually, they're modernized now. They eat cream puffs and smoke heroin. I like steel guitar players, even though they have a tendency to rust. I wrote a letter to myself, like Steely Dan suggests, and it goes like this. Dear wrong hero, you're great. Signed, me. Then I wrote myself back. Dear wrong hero, I especially liked your letter, especially the parts about me. Signed, me. Somebody played a great April Fool's joke on me. They said I had talent. My closest brush with fame is every time I comb my hair. I'm not famous, but my dog was on television once. I'm against war. I think it's a boring card game, except for the very youngest of children. I think the worst job I ever had was selling Encyclopedia Britannicas to unemployed steelworkers. And the best job I ever had was teaching gifted children how to act stupid.
Hey, can I play with the focus?
Please don't. If I were president, the first thing I would do is nationalize salad bars! Ah!
Hey, it's automatic. When you jumped, you made this thing go off, though.
Oh,
I
no.
guess it's still good.
Oh, thanks,
You need
Mike.
to lose weight before you jump on the
I
floor.
love this postmodernist commentary on the act of actually recording on film. It's like, hey, we're on camera, aren't we? Oh my God, I gotta act natural. What am I gonna do? Oh, my camera, it's stealing my soul. Ah!
That was good.
Thanks. An apple a day cleans your teeth. So does a hand grenade. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. I need to know what kind of fruit keeps the policeman away. Okay, I'm not worried about doctors. At least you know when they're going to take huge bribes from you so that you stay healthy. On my job application, they asked me if I was ever arrested, and I wrote, yes, by my own cleverness. I wrote my resume on a snow cone, but the personnel office didn't have air conditioning, and it melted. My entire life is now in some fat office worker's belly. I invented a couple of diets. The 12 beers for breakfast diet. Brain fat just melts away like magic. And the X-Lax diet. Shed ugly brown pounds in seconds. I'm the wrong hero. My blood type is B negative. Also, my personal philosophy. That's an opening line, but I don't care. I used to jog, but now I run on a hamster wheel in the privacy of my own cage. If I could have any job at all, I think I would be a hooker in Las Vegas. But this is second best. Got the dress. I'm saving this A material for the kiddie show that they're going to put in here come winter time. It's a funny thing, but a lot of us lose our virginity at about the same time we start prostituting ourselves. You're not supposed to laugh at that, that's really deep, you know? Just when you think you've seen everything, you get cataracts. A job interview is sort of like a modern-day primitive rite of passage. In other words, a bunch of aborigines torture you so that you can prove to them that you're a man and belong in their tribe. For example, do you have any hobbies, they ask you. I like to say, yes, being interrogated by total strangers. And they like to ask, why do you want this job? And I say, is that a trick question? And they like to say, do you have any experience? And I say, yes. Jimi Hendrix experience! Finally they say, do you have any questions? That's the killer. You're supposed to display interest in the job. Even if you're like sweeping up after elephants in a circus. Do you have any questions about the job? Well, is the shit going to be slimy or do they feed them peanuts and does it come in little lumps? When they ask if I have any questions, I say, what do you want me to ask you about? So I can get this job, so my girlfriend will get off my back! And I can be a man, at least in her eyes, 4 billion to 1. Pretty good. I'm an optimist. In fact, I wanted to join the Optimists Club, but I knew they wouldn't let me. Maybe it had something to do with the fact that I had death tattooed on my forehead at the time. Hence the mask. I'm the wrong hero, and I never apologize. I say, due to a systems error beyond my control, a major miscalculation forced me to commit an error. Or something to that effect. I love this country. Excuse me. I've got something in my eye.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my eyeball. It tastes like veal. Actually, it tastes like chicken.
Want some hot sauce on it?
No, actually, I want some tongue. But I'm not going to get it till I go to Vegas, I guess. I'm starting a countercultural garden. The flowers don't have a scent, they have dissent. You know, I was born 30 years too late. This joke would have been great, like, during the Kennedy administration, but forget it now, you know. I'm inventing a children's toy. It's called Garbage Bear. It's like Yogi's evil twin. How come Yogi never says, hey, boo-boo, let's go dumpster diving? I don't think the ranger would consider that a sanitary alternative to our regular chow, Yog. What does Yogi Berra think every time he watches kitty cartoons? Hey, that's me up there. I'm a fat bear with a bow tie and no genitalia. Christ. So Yogi, why do you wear a tie? Hey, boo-boo, maybe it's because I have no neck. I have no neck and I must schmooze by Harlan Ellison. I think the world would be a better place if we all gave each other back massages and we all volunteered. My slogan is, be a volunteer. And
Should I throw a rotten vegetable at you?
go ahead.
I don't know, I just roll.
Run across the plate. Come on, let's go. Come on, Andy Kaminsky, let's go. Come on, hey, come on. We're playing stickball now. Anyway.
Now I have to pick it up.
Okay.
That's why I didn't want to throw it.
Intrude your owner's presence on my camera space, why don't you?
Well, don't you need to stretch this a little?
No, I don't. In fact, I'm frantically trying to finish it, but your interference. So anyway, yes, I think that you should be a volunteer and tell the world, my work means nothing, and his work, zilch, in the marketplace. Billy Joel's coming out with a new album. Billy Joel has always struck me as like Harry Chapin with all the conscience leached out of him, you know? New material, that's right. And Rush Limbaugh, he's like H.L. Mencken who can neither read nor write, nor even spell. And Ross Perot, Yoda with $1 billion and a bad attitude. Luke, you must buy the country! Fuck NAFTA! I want the land! It's mine, you hear? If Perot were like 6'6", he would be a menace. As it is, whenever I see Perot, I think, look at that cute little fella. His ears stick out like jug handles. I'm gonna make him squeal like a pig. If I ever catch him around here. I'm the wrong hero. And my philosophy is, I would rather be over your head than beneath your notice. But I'm afraid I'm both. Anybody see Free Willy? I went to see Free Willy because I have no free will of my own. My mother had to be a mother and father both to me. That's because my dad was a transvestite. He was a police captain who was into macrame. He was an astronaut who was into flower arrangement. I don't drink coffee because I already have a bitter taste in my mouth. First thing in the morning. My father is a meat and potatoes man. His arm is made of steak and his head is made of French fries. I think journalists are like garbage men with a bachelor's degree. Because the press knows that you can insult the press. The press knows that you can insult the president and the Congress with impunity. But if you insult money and offend the advertisers, you're dead meat.
Good thinking.
Yeah, that's true, you know. It's like the press wants to tell the president how to run the country, and yet they run ads which encourage children to smoke cigarettes and drink beer. That's one way to run the country. Hey, kids, drink light beer so you won't get whiskey dick like stupid old dad. Hey, kid, suck on this menthol cigarette. It's like carbon dioxide through a candy cane. You'll love it. You know, I talk about garbage man, but My brother was a garbage man. His brain was made of eggshells and his soul was made of coffee grounds. And I can't stand it anymore. People ask, why do garbage men make so much noise in the morning? My answer is, if they knew how to keep their mouths shut and be quiet, they wouldn't be garbage men. That's why. You hear about Rick James? It's a 70s thing. You have to be there.
Yeah.
Rick James, you know what his defense was? I abuse drugs, not women. Isn't that great? Next time you're in traffic court, I abuse drugs, not the traffic laws. I got the LSD patch, officer. Here's my license. Voice is green and purple. Yeah, when I get stopped by a policeman, he says to me, you were going 70 miles an hour in a school zone. Tell me, why was that? And I like to play a little game with him called Nice Victim, Mean Victim. Top of the morning to you, officer. What's a police captain like you doing a pounding the beat? I'll tell you why I was going 70, because I was sucking on a cube of LSD, and I was pretending the accelerator was a policeman's head, and I wanted to get out before I melted. Officer, coffee and donuts, sitting and picking your ass in a Dunkin' Donuts at 4 in the morning. Sir? And he says, okay, we'll let it go this time. See it doesn't happen again. I have a lot of primal fears. Every time I take a leak in a restroom in a bar, I'm always afraid some drunk guy's going to decide that my bum looks pretty. Every time I see my brother-in-law, I'm afraid he's going to say, you touched my sister, I'll kill you! Oh, you're married? That's okay. And every time I see a beggar, I think, gee, I could end up like that, except I wouldn't tear the filters off of filter cigarettes that people give me. And I'm afraid that some crazed psychopath might decide to stalk me. For that matter, I'm afraid that some rational psychopath might decide to stalk me, like somebody from the FBI or CIA. I'm afraid that I'm going to get a tattoo that says, fuck socialized medicine the day before healthcare reforms are implemented. I'm afraid that my cat is going to begin to cough asbestos hairballs. I'm afraid that I'm going to sell my defective car to a man who, in disguise, turns out to be Ralph Nader. I'm the wrong hero. I'm not obnoxious. That's an ugly word. I prefer to use the expression attitudinally challenged. And for that matter, I don't like the phrase the death penalty. I think they should call it something nice, like putting the killers to sleep or harvesting the psychopaths.
That's nice.
Something nice, And I'm going to go into business. I'm going to make flashcards for door people. No means no. Wait your turn. And who do you think you are? It would also work for people that work in post offices and at McDonald's and stuff like that. Little flashcards. I think chimpanzees should be in zoos if they've committed crimes. And I think that if you catch a chimp driving drunk 3 times, you ought to take his license away. I'm serious about that. It's my crusade. I think we should have given Russia all of our money back in 1946 and said, hey, Uncle Joe, you run the world for a while. We're tired.
We were just beginning to run the world then.
We were just starting to run the world, and then Russians had to come along. Those stupid, evil, moronic, suitcase head-shaped Russians.
Are their heads shaped like suitcases?
No, but their women are. Sorry.
Their entire bodies.
Right. You know, we could construct a joke right here. What's a Russian suitcase? Something, I don't know, a 1,000 ruble note or something. You know, a 1,000 ruble note is worth $1. That's wonderful. I love that. And, you know, a 100 yen note is worth $1. What does it do for the self-esteem of these people? Our dollar's bigger than yours. If the Japanese, like, ever do become the financial leaders of the world, they'll have to start dialing for dollars, punching for yen, you know, because there's no more dial phones. They got those push-button phones. My throat's giving out. Time to do the Johnny Most impression. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. RST, Johnny.
UVW, that's R-Y!
Z.
How can you call this an open mic? You got one guy waiting to go on stage, and you're going to give him what time is left over from you.
That's not true. First of
Go
all,
on, and you take the time that's left over from him.
well, you take the high road, I'll take the low road, and I'll be in Scotland before you. Oh man, my gal! That's all I know right now. I'll give you the rest of it next week, if there is a next week.
There'll be a next week.
No, I'm gonna get fired because I'm gonna bring a spear gun next week.
You're not going to get fired.
Oh, thanks.
You're going to get more to do with the kiddie show.
I'll tell you what. I'm gonna see. This is the amount of time that I have. This is where I'm at. Okay. In other words, I'm almost done. So bear with me. Let me drink like a
You're
quart.
overbearing.
I would like to be just like everybody else, but they wouldn't all fit in my head. And besides, half of them are dead. How would you like to have everybody in your head and half of them are dead? I'm Einstein! I'm Madonna. This segment of the show is called genre surfing. You know, it's like let's see. Superhero. Don't worry, I only drink the blood of criminals. For Walter Houston. I'm rich! I'm standing around the gold! Evil alien. I have come to Earth to destroy your Earth comedy. For it is feeble and puny, and I am tired. For 5,000 years I slept. For 5,000 more I caused mischief. Now I am angry. Jimmy Cagney. All right, boys, we're gonna rob the bank. No parking zone sign face. You stand in front of the bank, okay, in case there's some nosy bulls come sniffing around. Fuck face, 88 keys, piano nose, aircraft carrier forehead. I want you guys to case the joint. And now this word for Jesus Christ soup. Are you tired of boring flavors like gumbo, chicken noodle? We'll try Jesus Christ soup. The only soup that gives you spiritual advice and forgives you in advance if you fail to follow it. Jesus Christ soup. It has little letters of the Hebraic alphabet in it which say, "Go and sin no more. I forgive you. Father, Father, why have thee forsaken me?" Only with Jesus Christ soup. A subsidiary of Union Carbide. And now it's time for the exciting Nikki and Mrs Carmichael show. This week, Lucy gets into trouble and Mr. Carmichael, that is to say, Mr. Mooney, reprimands her. Nikki, Mrs. Carmichael! Nikki, Mrs. Carmichael! I discovered something. I can dance. Do you have any music?
Oh, yeah.
Just punch it in.
Ready?
Yep.
Punch it.
The sky
boring format because Dragnet used to be a radio show. No one is innocent, and so none of the names have been changed. This genre surfing thing isn't going too well, because I'm pausing, I should just go seamlessly. Okay, archetypal country and western song.
Get back to the dead people and try to relate it to the fact that, the Grateful Dead is doing, Deadhead's dead.
Oh, I went to a Grateful Dead concert.
There you go.
I like the feeling of community, the all-inclusive spirit of peace and love, and the fact that the Army helicopters hovering 80 feet over my head make it impossible for me to hear what those boring old men on stage are doing.
And like your joints.
Oh, right. Now, Jim Morrison as an Irishman. Oh, the time to hesitate has come, it's true. No time to wallow in the mire. And if you're not careful, I will light your head on fire. Oh!
That's not bad.
GM, mark of excellence, mark of excellent perks for their executives. Ford has a better idea, move all the jobs to Mexico. Hi, we here at Saturn had a long talk over what we should call our car. Some said, let's call it Venus, the goddess of love. But we said no, we want something more dynamic. So some said, let's call it Mars, the god of war. And others said, no, the Berlin Wall has fallen and that would not be appropriate. And then our youngest members spoke up and said, let's call it Saturn. Devours his own children. Great name for a car! We'll call it Saturn! Devours his own children! Yeah! Get in that car, kiddies! So the next time you decide that you're going to buy a car, make it a Saturn.
I never thought of it that way.
Good. And now?
I never thought of you as an enlightening person, but I guess you are.
I did this at Catch a Rising Star 2.5 years ago. You were doing the sound. You don't remember. You don't love me anymore. You don't hang on my every word. I
was very nervous at that show. A lot of things were going wrong.
Yeah, I could say. Should I move this switch up 1/8 of an inch or down 1/8 of an inch? I don't know. God help me. Get my hand away from there. Be still, my heart. If I make one error, the fate of the civilized world will hang on this.
Well, the fate of your career.
Such as it is. Well, as you
I
can
was
see.
hoping you'd rocket the stardom and leave me in peace.
Or in the dust, as the case may be.
Yeah.
Well, that ain't gonna happen anytime soon. But I'm working on it. All these comedians, once they get up there and they start sucking up and sucking up. Hi, how are you? That's a nice tie you're wearing. I know you're not wearing a tie, mister, but it's nice anyway. Please love me. I just want to be your friend. Here's $1. Laugh. And then once they make it big, they do these big concert shows and they give interviews in which they say, every single one of them, I decide what I'm going to say on stage. I write for myself. I don't care if the audience doesn't get it because I'm... Pick one. Eddie Murphy, Bill Cosby, Martin. They are liars. They do care what people think. I'm the one who doesn't care what people think because I'm the wrong hero. I say what I think, and I think. I'm getting out of here now. Bye. I'm the wrong alien. Sorry, hero. You're not supposed to know I'm an alien. I just gave the whole thing away. Okay, well, since the secret's out, I might as well tell you. Here's what happened. My home planet exploded. And as I was rocketing away from my home planet, I remember thinking, gee, I should have set a longer fuse and used a little less dynamite. But I didn't, because I'm the wrong hero. Alcoholic, drug addict, easy guy to shop for around Christmas time. Ho, ho, ho. I'm the shoot first and ask questions later, go hang yourself, screw you and the boat you rolled in on comedian. You see, I'm trying to tone the language down a little bit. This is for public access of television, like it matters.
Hey, don't lock the door again.
What? What's this? Another country heard from? Probably Lebanon? I don't know. It could be Syria. But seriously. My comedy shatters galaxy and brings forth new worlds as I redefine what's funny and create the foundations for a new humor based not on the trivial, mundane, and everyday, but rather on my own diseased and intrinsically corrupted imagination. I'm like a kid. I think violence is funny, and I go to the movies to hear swears. I'm the wrong hero. I'm not a genius. I'm just hard to get along with. Okay? There's a sign-up sheet. If anybody needs to sign up. I'm here to tell you that your whole life has been based on delusions. That the wrong hero is nothing special. But that too will change when I get my brainwashing apparatus set up. People call the Middle East and say, this is the Middle East Cafe, and people call the Middle East and say, is this the Middle East? What kind of food do you serve here? And I say, oil and sand. Oil and sand! And you gotta crawl 50 miles to the kitchen in order to get to the food. And once you get there, it's a mirage. But that wouldn't fit on the front of the building, so we call it the Middle East. Yes, I'm the wrong hero. I tried to come up with a name more descriptive of my act, like the Wandering Minstrel Misfit Idiot Boy. But it was too long to fit on the marquee. I like wrong hero, 5 and 4, you know, perfect. People like that. If I could get one of those 3-letter words, pest? No, it's 4 letters. No, I can't think of any 3-letter words. Any 3-letter words? Cat, Zach, Fudd with 1 D, or no, PhD, no. Elmer PhD. I'm going to take that intrinsically rascally rabbit and force him to look down the barrel of a rather large weapon which, since the NRA has been lobbying for so long, has not been outlawed yet.
But his name would be Food.
That's why Bugs Bunny says, "What's up, Doc?" Because he's Elmer PhD. Dr. Elmer to you. And that's why he's bald. You know, thinking so much, all his hair fell out. Well, anyway, I'm the wrong hero, and this segment of the show is called
The Wrong Hero is Supreme Lord and Master over all, and all who oppose him are mere cattle, too blinded with the sweat of their own fear to realize they are being led to the slaughter by laughing cowboys. So get along, little doggies, get along, because you know that death will be your new home.
For all those who oppose the wrong hero are misshapen freaks. No, not really. I just like the expression misshapen freaks. Do you like that expression? How do you spell misshapen? M-I-S-H-A-P-E-N or M-I-S-S-H-A?
No, one S.
One S?
Yeah. One S, 2 P's.
Oh my Lord. Well, you know, when I was in the spelling bee, I lost on the word auxiliary. And I should have known because Batman had his auxiliary Batcave, and I had just read about it in Detective number 398, March 1968. So I should have known. Oh, hey, come on in, sit down, have a seat, sit a spell. Y'all come back now, are you? Well, doggies. Well, That judge is so mean, where he spits, the grass don't grow. The weekly award for best performance by the wrong hero goes this week, as it does every week, to the wrong hero. That's me. It comes off. That's in case I decide to do like Soviet China. I don't want to pander to these people, so I'll take it off. People who tell the truth are never very popular. So let's kill them. All three of them. I think 2 of them are in this room. How you doing? I'm a nonviolent hypocrite. You believe me, don't you? Or do you want a little trouble? Don't get me wrong. I may be the wrong hero, but I respect you. Here, fetch. That's not fair. I saw Rodney Dangerfield do that, so, you know. It's not fair to steal his material. His. Rodney. That's a problem. Most people, when they think of a comedian, they think, Andrew Dice Clay, how come you're not dirty like him? Don Rickles, how come you don't insult the audience like him? Rodney Dangerfield, how come you don't say I don't get no respect like him? How come you're not like everybody else? Well, if I was like everybody else, I don't think I'd be very original, and what would be the point of going out to see me in the first place? Actually, I would like you to know that I have requested that the cover charge go to my favorite charity. I would also like you to know that I have decided to handle the administrative details, and so give me the money now. I'm not really talking to you. I'm talking to the money in your pockets. It's called marketing. How much money do you have? That's called market research. After all, isn't advertising just pornography with better PR? I think so. By the way, I'm not one of those aliens who goes around abducting humans. They're too expensive to feed, and my UFO only gets 5 miles to the gallon. Anyway, I refuse to promote commercialism unless I get paid. I know my problems can't be solved by material goods, but I'd like to try. Got any? I filled out my unemployment form in 3 different colors of ink. And now I got disability. This is what we do when we don't know what to say next. Hey, it's the Moody Blues. I'm just a singer in a rock and roll band. I'm always wandering on the face of the earth. World's biggest pill. Let's see. The alien set in a hardware store. Ah! That wasn't so good. Once I strap my jetpack to my back, I'll fly off and rescue the maid. You know what the problem with you people is? Your problem is you've never done a hard day's work in your life. You've never gotten up at 4 in the morning and done backpacking labor for 16 hours and come home totally exhausted. Of course, I've never done it either, but I know what hard work is. My principal motive in life is to make money. And as soon as I get the special paper, I'll get started. You know, I'm against cheap sentiment. But you know, cheap sentiment is all I can do because I can't afford the expensive kind. You know, the kind that comes on HBO, Movie of the Week. And this is a message for the children. Stop the senseless violence. Let's have some sensible violence for a change. Like boycott the next Michael J. Fox movie. Love or money? There was an interview with Michael J. Fox in Entertainment Weekly. Went Back to the Future movies were pretty good, but I don't know what they were thinking when they decided to do Dog Hollywood. It was a Woody Allen movie for 10-year-olds. I just like him, you know? Like, he doesn't say a word about his latest movie, which is a real... What do you want? Skid Roper and Mojo Nixon said that Michael J. Fox was the anti-Elvis. See, once again, stealing somebody's best line and trying to appropriate it as my own, even as I credit them with it. That's what happens when you write your material at 4 in the morning. I have a chauffeur. He's a former FBI man. He knows where I live. Actually, he knows where everybody lives. No problem. In fact, I don't even have to tell him where I'm going. He already knows. Actually, it's not like I don't know how to drive. Actually, driving is easy. Actually, I taught a cow how to drive. Actually, I taught it how to steer. Actually, it was a steer. Actually, I was driving drunk and I lost my license. Actually, it was under the seat the whole time. Actually, I had an accident on the way over here. Actually, I wet my pants. Actually, it's a good thing for Depends. I know, it's getting late. I understand. I have a long memory. I remember the first things my girlfriend ever said to me. Excuse me, I think that's my drink you're drinking. And I remember the last thing my girlfriend ever said to me. I thought you were the manager of this place. Why are you up to your elbows in filthy dishwater? People brag about their children. I don't have children. What do I brag about? My handkerchief? It smells like a petunia. It smells like a petunia. When I do have kids, and I will have kids, I love kids. Kids are great. Hi, kids. What should I call them? You think I should call them Tiger, Bone? How about Rico Suave? Or how's about, pay attention to me, look at my screaming face? That would be a good name. I worry about the environment because, you know, children are our future and we have to leave something for them. That's a typical old baby boomer sentiment. The young baby boomer sentiment is something along the lines of, well, I didn't get the good jobs or the good sex, so why should I leave anything for anybody else? But old baby boomers think, yes, we must take care of the environment, and yes, we must take care of the environment. I'm committed to the environment. I buy organic dog food. It tastes like veal. It tastes like veal. You know, I think Boris Yeltsin's in a lot of trouble because the only constituency he has is the army. I think he should start a party, and I think he should call it something like the Hair That Looks Like Cotton Candy Spun on a Dried Snot Party. And for his running mate, he could have Don King. Good, now I can do the drug material.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Okay. Why take mescaline? Why not just sit in a cheap hotel room with a broken color television all night long and vomit at your own pace? For that matter, why celebrate the weekend? Why should there be a set time to have fun? Isn't there enough regimentation in our life? Well, I should talk though. People who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. But who would want to live in a glass house? Why? Is this so birds can like hit their heads against the side of your house? Hey, we eat tonight, Madge. Is this so burglars can window shop? Is this so you can look in the wall every time you shave? Is this so the neighbors can hold up scorecards every time you fornicate? 7.5. She's on top. Pretty good. 8. Mighty athletic. I have a lot of time on my hands, so I decided to do a little experiment. I played Beethoven's 5th Symphony backwards at the speed of light. And when I got done, Beethoven had turned into a chimpanzee. I told you I had a lot of time on my hands. And that includes coming up with jokes like that. I invented a car that runs on blood sugar. I lost 300 pounds on the drive to Albany. Good thing I picked up that hitchhiker. I would have never made it. Yep, Fatty Arbuckle in Boston, Karen Carpenter in Albany. I wrote an unauthorized autobiography. It's called, "This is not a book, go away, beat and squeal, get out of here, fetch the red hot branding iron." Part 1. Part 2 is called, "So You Didn't Listen." You know, there's nothing new under the sun. It's probably all old and burned, and somebody's probably trying to sell it at a flea market somewhere and asking far too much for it. "This has been in my family since 1877. Oh, it took you that long to get rid of it, huh? You know, what if, I'm an optimist and I often think, what if Noah had gotten drunk? There he is on the ark.
Hey, fuck it. Throw the animals overboard. Bring the fish up here.
We'd be in a mighty bad fix. Here's something that bugs me. If the Virgin Mary had drunk coffee when she was pregnant, what would Jesus have turned out to be? An agent? Hello, give me God. No, I don't want to talk to St. Peter. Give me God. Virgin Mary, put her on hold. Mary Magdalene, tell her to stop bothering me. Give me God. I want to talk to a big fella. Hello, big fella? How are you, sweetie? Hey, listen. I hear it's your birthday. What is it, your infinitieth birthday? What should we do? What do we give to the God that has everything? I know. We'll go down to Chuck E. Cheese. There's one in California where the rat pushes kids. I think we'll get a big kick out of watching that. Here's another what if. What if Italians had been slaves during the Civil War? I'm Italian, so it's okay. Wait. Told that barge, show lift that bill. No! I want to play this game! I'm the wrong hero. And I'm like a fox. A pointy-snouted critter that likes to stick his nose in other people's garbage. And I'm also like an owl. A flat-faced son of a bitch who hoots and who endorses his own line of greasy potato chips. And when I was a boy, my mother used to read to me. She'd say, "The 3 little kittens have lost their mittens and don't know where to find them." And I'd say, "Kittens wearing mittens? Kittens wearing mittens? What kind of nightmare world is this you brought me into, Mother?" I had a tendency to over-dramatize, even as a small child. Well, I'm the wrong hero, and you are beginning to bore me. You make me nervous. And do you want to know why? Because you're evil. Evil.
in the South again. I'm back. I just don't have. I haven't been smoking my 2 packs a day, so I can't do the phlegm right now. Phlegm is like a musical instrument, and you must take care of your instrument. Constant practice. No, I can't do it, but I can do Muttley. That's the other test of phlegm. The test of a drummer used to be, can you play For Your Love on the drums? And the test for somebody who uses phlegm is, can you do a good Muttley? You ever see Muttley? On Wacky Races and on The Perils of Penelope Pitstop? No? They don't show those anymore. They do show them, but not too often. Well, Muttley, he had his laugh. It was like... It's not easy to do, I'm telling you. I just flew in from Australia, and my jetpack scorched an Aborigine. I told this joke like last week. I forgot. Sorry. Well, our sponsor for today is Filthy Midget Mart. Filthy Midget Mart. We don't waste money on cleaning the store, so that smell of mold, mildew, and freezer burn translates into extra savings for you. At Filthy Midget Mart, our poultry is so fresh it's still walking around. If you consider pigeons poultry. Our seafood department is the freshest in town, and our seafood is so fresh it's still walking around if you consider silverfish seafood. At Filthy Midget Mart, we don't say paper or plastic. We throw the stuff at your head. That's why we have the fastest checkout lines in the business, only at Filthy Midget Mart. Now, I did the Kirkland Cafe last night, and somebody said, hey man, why don't you get off of midgets already, huh? Or you're gonna taste this chair. Now what do you say to a guy like that? It's not about midgets, it's about midget marts. Midget marts, you know? And again, I guess it's the Steve Allen school of literal humor. You know what I should have said to him? I should have said, are you a talent agent? Because you know what? He was. He was a talent agent, and he was heckling me. That's a first, huh? Boy, I can just see it now. Yeah, yes. Sweetie, baby, honey, sweetheart, baby, sweetie, honey, you know, your jokes, you gotta work on the jokes, because, you know, your jokes are funny, but the people just don't laugh. You gotta work on it, baby, you gotta work on it. Yeah, the sort of discouraging agent. Oh yeah, I got 10% of your high, but 10% of nothing ain't diddly squat, baby, sweetie, honey, sweetheart. Let's do lunch. No, better yet, you pay. We'll eat at your house, yes. So, right. Oh, another test of phlegm juggling is Johnny Most. You can do Johnny Most, then you're pretty much solid with the phlegm thing. And so, here's Johnny Most at the fall of Rome.
Here comes Nero. He fiddles and he fiddles down the court. Ow! Here comes Rome. Rome is beginning to smolder. Ow, the 7 hills of Rome are burning. This is terrible. This is terrible. Here comes Nero. He fiddles and fiddles down the court. Ow, it's terrible. Caesar's having seizures. Caesar's having seizures. Caesar's having seizures. Ah, it's terrible.
And now this word for no-loke. Friends, do you eat locusts? Do locusts stain your teeth? Try this simple test. Breathe into the shroud of Turin. If it turns brown, you need no-loke. The locust eater's tooth polish comes in regular and gall and wormwood flavors. You know what? I like football, but I think they should jazz it up a little bit. Play it in quicksand. Have the football be a hand grenade. Catch it, no, go! And throw in some paraphernalia from other sports. Hockey sticks, baseball bats. Hey, why stop there, you know?
Paraphernalia from other wars, Gatling guns, things like that, bazookas. Well, the quarterback's got the bazooka launcher and it's pointed straight at the referee's head. That ref can't call him offside if his head's been blown to smithereens. And you can have like vaguely kind-hearted New Age color commentators to balance it out. Well, his head's been blown to smithereens by that big bad quarterback, so I don't know what we're going to do now. I guess we're going to have to cancel the game. No, don't point that thing at me. We won't cancel the game. Keep those cameras rolling. Oh, this is really terrible. Oh my God, the quicksand has just swallowed up the front five. Good thing they're bringing in Billy Graham now. He's going to deliver the benediction and do some healing. The man's head is whole. It's whole. He'll never think again. But you don't need to think. This is football. Yeah, you got off on a tangent. That's okay as long as you're doing trigonometry. Well, I got an itchy trigonometry figure. Go figure. So, I'd like to do a song. I like this song because of its sophisticated rhythmic impetus and particularly because of its incredibly colorful lyric imagery. And it's called Land of a Thousand Dances.
Do you know how to pony?
That's all I got right now. I couldn't memorize the rest of it. Jim Morrison. What if Jim Morrison had been Irish? Wouldn't that be a blast? Because, you know, it would come out something like this. Oh, the time to hesitate is through, no time to wallow in the mire. And if you are not careful, I will set your head on fire. Oh, it's over the hills of the poorhouse, over the hills and far away. And if you are not careful, I will set your head ablaze. Oh. Oh. When I was in high school, half the kids during lunchtime wanted to listen to Blue Velvet by Bobby Vinton. The other half wanted to listen to War by Edwin Starr. So for 20 minutes every day in the 7th grade, here's what I would hear. She wore, what is it good for? Blue velvet, absolutely. Now let's say it again on a Sunday afternoon. When you go for that all-important first job interview, keep your head held high. Don't let them walk all over you, sonny. Keep your head held high. Look at the ceiling, for Christ's sake. Hi, pleased to meet you. And shake their hands, but don't shake them too hard. It's like, hi, I'm Mr. Peterson. Are you coming for the job for interior decorating and flower arranging?
Hi, my name is Crusher. Fuck yeah, I want this fucking job.
Oh, sorry about those pieces of your hand I just pulled out of your arm.
Got a tissue? Christ's sakes, is there a dog around or something?
So I don't know. Oh, you'll know all about this because you actually have a job, okay? I don't always talk to people that have jobs, so you will know. The last hour of work, isn't it the worst? How do you get through that last hour of work? Well, there's the Trips extended bathroom break shuffle.
Be right out. Can you wait? All right. What the fuck's your...
Oh, hi, boss. Yeah, I was only here for a minute.
Well, your computer says you were gone for 22 minutes.
I got colitis.
Well, I hope you don't expect your health care plan to cover that. Told you, no colitis, no earthquakes, no sex changes. Okay, those are the big three. You knew when you signed up.
And the vending machine tango. It's like da 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 da. Let's all do the vending machine tango.
Swanwell? Yes, boss? What do you think you're doing there?
Well, boss, the machine was broken and I was trying to fix it.
Very well, carry on.
All this for an opium suppository. I'm gonna need it now. And finally, there's the outside phone calls on company time waltz. Hey, how are you, baby? Listen, I can't talk now. Can we go to the concert after work? What's that? You can't hear me? I said, can we go to the concert after work? Can we go to the concert after work? I said, can we go to the concert? Hi, boss. Hi, boss. That's what you gotta say to your boss. Like, you gotta sound like Scooby-Doo when your boss comes by. You know, you say like, yeah, and then I fucked her. I showed a pornographic video to all my buddies. Oh, hi, boss. We were talking about someone else. Yeah, it's a cross between Scooby-Doo and Goofy. You know, especially when the boss tells jokes. You know, like, I can't think of a suitably, you know any jokes that your boss tells that are like suitably bad for this occasion? Hey, what do you get when you throw an epileptic into a swimming pool? What do? You throw in a load of wash. That was funny, boss. Hey, you hear about the bulimic convention? The cake came out of the girl. That's real funny, boss. Yes, work is degrading. I think the most degrading aspect of work is having to drink coffee. I don't drink coffee because I already have a bitter taste in my mouth first thing in the morning. I don't need it. See, I'll tell you, I went from 0 to 60 in 12 seconds. And now I'm 96 years old. Can't you tell? Hi, I'm the wrong hero. I like to pretend to be a soldier so I can smoke in hospitals. I know that somewhere out there there's a bullet with not my name on it, and it's been writing bad checks all over town. That's how I know. I invented a new gum, it's called Junkie Gum. Want to smoke crack at work? No smoking at work? Chew Junkie Gum. The working of your jaws tells your boss, junkie, junkie, junkie. Hey boss, chewing junkie gum. Yes, the incredible degradation. At what lengths will I not go? I gotta do the Scooby-Doo Goofy thing for a little while because I love it so much. Oh, yeah, Euro Disney, you know, how are they gonna like control the behavior of the people that work at Euro Disney? What if Goofy is some guy from Morocco that likes to smoke hash? You know, hash with Goofy. You know, man, the faces of the tourists remind me of a bunch of really ugly people I saw back when the French occupied Algeria in 1954. Their simple, grasping faces, choked with greed. Hi, Uncle Walt. Be our guest, be our guest. The magic of Disney. You know, they're selling 100-year bonds for Disney. But someday people will hate Disney. They will revile Disney. Frozen Walt will come back to a world that despises Walt Disney. Mickey, death, a potent death symbol of their 20th century culture. Pluto, short for plutonium, principal ingredient of atomic bombs. Donald Doom. Donald Duck talks like a lot of old pensioners, you know. The kind that buy roll-your-owns and, you know, they're always sitting on the corner watching their kids.
You kids, you're gonna stay out of trouble now. You don't want to end up like me. You're old Uncle Bass.
Disney, I do. I want to get back at them in the worst way. And this is, in fact, the worst way to get back at them. Okay, the miracle of cable access. I invented the LSD patch. But, Slavewell, when are you going to get those contracts done? Right away, boss. voice is green and purple. Right away. Well, the Pope, in a recent visit to America, said that drug addiction may be grounds for divorce. You've heard this one before. And you didn't believe it. Well, I'm going to look it up on LexisNexis, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. Don't ask somebody who's ignorant and doesn't know.
She has Pope albums.
Oh, okay. I'm sure the Pope said this. He said, drug addiction is grounds for divorce. Well, I say marriage might be grounds for drug addiction. Ever think of that, Pope baby? Huh? Did Bill Clinton have contemptuous nicknames for the Pope? Like Onion Dome Head or something like that? You know, who does that Polish guy think he's doing telling me about abortion? Of course, Bill Clinton doesn't say abortion. He says abortion. He ain't got no business around here telling me what. What if Bill Clinton turns out to be a really mean cracker? You know, the neo-nice guy. He ain't got no business around here. I'm going to put him on his Pope-mobile and ship him right back where it came from. And now, are the Pope's edicts too stringent for you? Well, try Pope Light. Pope Light, slimmer than the fat pontiffs Catholics worship. Pope Light. You've got your own Pope now, baby. You've come a long, long way, yeah.
Why don't you help me cut the fleece?
You know what I think? I think masturbation is the poor man's Nintendo. Try it sometime.
But not around me.
I'm the wrong hero. My laundry is like my sex life. Happens twice a year, takes 12 hours, weighs 200 pounds. Yes. Children make me nervous. Very nervous. Because they're the only ones who aren't frightened of me. Because they know that I am their friends. That's not a joke, actually. It's true. It's a reality. It's a tragic man. I invented a Bible for children. It's called the Bib. The Old Testament's just one word. No. And the New Testament's also just one word. Because. And there's the Apocrypha. It's written on a face cloth. Got a baby on board sticker on your car? No? I got one on mine, but actually it's a little twist. It says,
I have no children, and my life is meaningless, so go ahead and run me off the fucking road!
okay? But it doesn't all fit on one little sticker, you know? So I have to have a little caravan. You know, I have no children, and my life is meaningless, so go ahead and run me off the fucking... And the smoke spells road, you know, it's like a smoke signal. What about those, ask me about my grandchildren? Yeah, ask me about my grandchildren. I got a bumper sticker that says, it's not your grandchildren to do 45 in the passing lane, Gramps. It's you I have to ask about right now. Pull over there, son. I know you're like 50 years older than me, but I call you son to establish the hierarchy, relatively speaking. Why am I wearing a mask? I'm the masked trooper. Hi, I'm Elvis. I don't want anybody to know I'm still alive. Hey, you know you're doing 70, old man? You're supposed to be doing 80 on this road, you understand? You're slowing me down. You know, when you first start driving, you know, maybe you think, gee, I better follow the speed limits. And then again, maybe you look in the mirror and you see a gigantic sucker where your head should be. Follow the speed limit? Yeah, stay in the slow lane, follow the speed limit. Even then, you know, you got the hot shots, they're doing the fast lane at 80. This guy's slowing me down. They come over, pull 2 lanes. You know, I'll pass this guy in the slow lane. On the brim. You know, like that. So it's dangerous. You can't be in the slow lane because some hotshot might try to run you off the road. You can't be in the middle lane because, again, you know, the guys that are trying to like get
somewhere. I'm trying to get somewhere, damn it. Why are you in my way? Get out of my way. I got the pedal to the middle. Can't drive 55. Looking out for number 1.
You know, that's going to be the mantra of 20th century civilization. Not Om, but Varoom. We're all sitting cross-legged in our cars going, Varoom. No, I don't think I'll ever have children. But if I decide I might have children someday, I'll adopt a midget and work my way up. I'll teach him to say, Boss, be play. We'll live in East Boston, so it'll come in handy. He'll actually be a air traffic controller. Deplane, quickly. You know, I have a dog, and every time my dog sees me, he jumps for joy. That's because he knows I'm a fixin' to put a bouillon cube on the toilet bowl. Some days it's beef, some days it's chicken, and some days it's vegetable. Those are the days when he doesn't like me. You can tell when your dog doesn't like you, because, you know, you pet him and he goes like that. I invented a Bible for dogs. Actually, it's a whole religion for dogs. It's called Heel. And the Old Testament is one word, sit. And the New Testament is 2 words, good dog. Works for humans too. And they got those sissy ice cream flavors like Fruity Tutti Fruity and Cherries Garcia and all that stuff. I got petroleum jelly and rust. It's called Neil Young. I got Mexico City car exhaust fumes. I got Peruvian gasoline rag hover flavors, you know? Like, I got veal, owl, fox. Oh, and you know, got the veal, owl, fox combo. It's called vermin. This vermin ice cream sure tastes good. Look at the little flecks of raccoon in it. I got Corona with real flecks of tobacco leaf in it. That's the kind of ice cream I eat. Damn you. Tell you another thing. They say that an apple a day keeps the doctor away. I want to know, what kind of fruit keeps the policeman away? That's what I really need to know. And they say an apple cleans your teeth. Hey, so does a hand grenade when you come right down to it. Take a bite into an apple? Good. Take a bite into a pineapple? That sure cleaned my teeth out, boss. My dentist loves this joke. Carrots improve your vision at night. Just when you need it the most, when you're asleep. Ever figure that out? I can do an impression now. A hamster. That was good. Now it's time to go and eat my young. It's hamster young flavor. Because, you know, when you're a hamster, let's face it, you don't get that many treats in life, and I guess eating your young is like a real 10 kind of day. Ooh, I'm sick of those boring old pellets. Time to eat my young. And also buy hamster young gravy. That gravy sure is good. You can throw the young away and eat the gravy. That's how good it is. Some people say, wrong hero, you're controversial and obnoxious. And I say, no, I'm attitudinally challenged. I don't like that word shit. I prefer to use a nicer expression like brown monuments to a healthy appetite. Try it sometime. Because that's what they are, you know. Oh, now this word for mafia health insurance. Because you wouldn't want anything to happen now, would you? Would you? You have said the word no to Don Emilio Croce. Now you can no longer live. Anybody here a Southerner? No? Good, then I can do this joke. Are you a Midwesterner? Are you a Canadian? Okay, I'm gonna go bam, bam, bam. Southerners. Southerners, when they're mad at you, they all talk to you like they're taking a shit.
gets here once the sun set. You ain't got no business around here.
And Midwesterners all talk to you like they're Huckleberry Hound. Oh, my darling, hey, what you doing around here anyway, stranger? I don't know, reckon I've ever seen your face around these parts before. What do you think you're doing anyway? Well, I think you're doing about 45, your speed limit's 35, you know. It's a thickly settled district, and we Midwesterners are all descended from boring Scandinavians and Germans, and we adhere rigidly to the letter of the law, because that's in our genetic makeup. So what are you doing around here anyway, huh? And Canadians. Canadians are 99% literate, and they have nothing to write home about. Dear Mom, it snowed, love, Pierre. 6 words. They're perfectly literate in those 6, because those are all they need. Well, looky here. Well, looky here. It's the Blues Jam. They're going to sing their way out of the penitentiary now. I can't keep. You can't lose me, Charlie. Okay. So I guess it's time for me to go because I wouldn't want to hold these fine, fine musicians up. So I'm the wrong hero, and I come in peace to destroy your feeble earth comedy. Good night.
You want to go to the middle mic? That's the one, I think. Can that one come out easily? Yeah.
The middle mic may come out easily.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure about myself. Are there any humans in the room?
Yeah, I'm here.
Good. Then I will talk extra slow. Hi, I'm the wrong hero, and this is my message to the human race. I will speak slowly and quietly, raising my voice only for
Emphasis!
I will show empathy. Hey Vass, how are you?
All right.
How's the wife? How's the kids? How's your vacation?
Excellent.
Think I care?
Yeah.
But I will set limits assertively.
Shut up!
I will not belittle you. You probably get enough of that at work. Or use sarcasm. Will I? I will not lecture you. But when I was your age, actually, I was never your age yet. I will not moralize. You know, if things were different, the wrong hero would be very, very powerful. I will not scream, threaten you, or ignore. You. That was my message to the human race. Hi, I'm the wrong hero. People say, stop the madness. I say,
Let the games begin. Bring in the lions.
I can't get it.
When you have lions in the arena, there's nothing they like better with their Christians than Christian gravy.
look for the little cross on the front of every box of Christian gravy. Comes in regular and fish flavors. I'm the wrong hero, and I'm like a baby. If you pat me on the back too hard, I vomit a little. Just a little, though. You just need a little dog. Like one of those toy schnauzers to wipe it up. Not a Saint Bernard. People who work in restaurants are not slaves. Because back in slavery days, slaves never got to drink Pepsi Cola mixed with orange soda until they got sick. Now, did they? I'm the wrong hero, and I believe that if I don't know you, you can't be very important. But if you don't know who I am, you must be ignorant. All of my friends think I'm boring. It's funny how they begin to think this the very second after I've spent all my money. Now here's a good thing to do whenever somebody heckles you. Not that it's likely in this venue, since there's nobody here, but in case it ever happens. Hey Vass,
Yeah.
you ever up on stage much?
Yeah, occasionally.
You ever get heckled? Nah?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Well, when they say something like, "You suck," you say something like, "That's what I just said." It works, it works. It's childish, it's stupid, it's reactionary, and it's boring. And that's why it's so successful in this country. Because in a democracy, you are the slave to the unconsidered opinions of misinformed fools. I'm sorry I had to say that. Please don't hate me, everybody.
Testing it.
Oh, I thought maybe it was like the Vox Populi revenge. Don't you just love that witty patter comeback? Yeah. I'm sorry if I seem affectless and dull, but I haven't really gotten into this yet. You're my pal. The only problem is, in my neighborhood, PAL stands for, now don't hate me for this. Oh, never mind. It stands for personal ass liquor, but you know what my favorite pickup line is?
What?
If you lose a little weight, I'll go out with you. It hasn't worked yet. I like to go into Toscanini's and say that. I think they should change the name of that ice cream store up the street. I don't think they should call it Toscanini's, because, you know, Italians, what do Italians do? They smoke smelly cigars, and they kill people, and they ride in boats and sing and stuff, you know. But I think they should change the name of Toscanini's. I think they should call it Arteriosclerosis in a Drum. A lot of MCs, that is, masters of ceremony, are like diapers. You have to change them every once in a while, and for much the same reason, I might add. I'm the wrong hero, but sometimes I feel as though I'm in a goldfish bowl. Fleshy human things!
Yeah, put the peppers on the side.
While Hess goes out and gets his chicken sandwich. I think I've got a new attitude towards my work. I used to count the hours until work was through, but now, with the automated workplace, that has all changed. Now I count the microseconds until work is through, and with my new computer, I can. You know, with computers, you can make mistakes at the speed of light. Isn't modern life wonderful? Hi, I'm the wrong hero. I don't like you until I've figured you out. And then I despise you for being so transparent. I toured America by train, and I greatly enjoyed the experience, even though the shackles bit into my wrists and legs, because I was being extradited to Seattle on a jaywalking charge. Now, what is this with all these grunge people anyway? They do these songs like, "Rape me," and yet they allow themselves to be arrested for jaywalking. Some rebels, huh? I guess jaywalking is like the supreme crime. You're denying the supremacy of the automobile. That alone ought to get you 20 to 10. Well, I saw a lot of this great country on the train, just before I was beaten senseless halfway through Illinois. They offered me a drink. And I said, "Hey, this coffee has lumps in it. And they said, that's not coffee, that's water. They offered me breakfast the next day. The other convicts got bacon and eggs. I got a pig's head with a ring through his nose. I always looked on the bright side. I looked at it and I said, goody, goody, goody. Now I can get engaged. Like I said, I'm the wrong hero. I stand for impulse, immediate gratification, flattened affect, and throwing tantrums in the face of minor obstacles and refusing to take no for an answer. In that way, I truly represent not only the children, but the American people. And now this message for fishermen. Fishermen, don't worry when you go fishing, because fish don't feel the pain. Sure, when you put them in that bucket, they just flop around in there for fun. They don't feel the pain. When I was in college, my girlfriend and I went to a Baskin Robbins, and the girl behind the counter said to her, what flavor do you want? Is that your boyfriend? And my girlfriend said, vanilla. No. And it's appropriate that this anecdote should segue into this one. Hi, I'm the wrong hero. My heart is made of ice, but at its hollow core, there's a cute little penguin holding up a tray with an iceberg on it, saying, more ice for your drink, sir? I'm the wrong hero. I hate words like genius, gifted, overachieving, special, and service, because none of them apply to me. Hi, I'm the wrong hero. I'm trying to gain legal recognition as an Indian tribe so I can open up a casino in my belly button right here. Is this blackjack or roulette? I'm the wrong hero. I'm a cross between Don Quixote and Pere Ubu. This is not a dress, it's a toga, and I am a Roman nobleman. Now it's time to get real going for a change. I knew a lawyer that was so lazy he picked his own pockets. He was awkward like that too. Who is H. Ross Perot? Is he Joe McCarthy with ears that stick out like jug handles? Or is he Yoda with $1 billion and a lousy attitude? I would elaborate on this, but why bother? I'm too busy. I'm working on my newsletter. It's called Cement Pond, the official newsletter of the Beverly Hillbillies. Well, I think I'm going to be a communist, Uncle Jed. A communist? Well, we're to talk to Brent Banker Drysdale about this.
A communist? What on earth are you even feeding that boy, Jed?
Well, I don't know, Banker Drysdale. I reckon I don't know whether the fish are cut bait, because where I piss, the sun don't shine, and furthermore, I'm so mean, lazy. Losing it. Okay. I applied for a job and they asked me if I was flexible. And I said to them,
What do I look like, a fucking Indian rubber man? Yeah, I'm fucking fuck. Look at this. I can do this. I can stick my own finger all the way on my asshole. That's how
flexible I am. Do I get the job or not? Or do you want some trouble? I'm the wrong hero. I believe that the dismantling of social controls leads to barbarism, which is why I'm all for it. Hey, I feel a burp coming in. Hey, Bass, you see The Fugitive?
Not yet.
Not yet, he says. Oh, well, I'm just a sheep. I'm just going to get in line with the rest of the cattle and go see The Fugitive because it's the #1 box office grossing film until it gets bumped off by the latest flavor of the week. Well, and I'm not going to give away the super special plots or anything like that, but they had these doctors having their convention in a Hilton hotel, and it's on the top floor. You ever see a convention in a Hilton? They never have it on the top floor. The only reason they had it on the top floor is so they could have an exciting chase scene and fight on the roof, you know? It's like, they would lose something somehow if they had it in a beggar shanty town. Oh, I'm going to knock down that cardboard box. Oh! But anyway, go about your business, if you like.
Okay.
You don't need to feel transfixed as
I'll
a
be
marketing
right back.
plan. I'll be right back, right after this. Hey, did you hear about the hippie dad? He taught his son a lesson he'd never remember. I believe that critics are too stupid to be entertained. They feel they have to talk about it too. It's a nice sunset, but the Reds aren't quite as brilliantly azure as they were on the night of October 12, 1958, nor are the Yellows as brilliantly cerulean as they were on the night of November 17, 1973. I believe that God doesn't like crowds, and that's why you never see him in a church. I believe that cars are automation for hunter-gatherers. So a guy without a car is sort of like a caveman with a broken foot. You know, oh, you might as well shoot me now, get that spear, just plunge it right in there. I'm no good to anybody anymore. Rock stars. They're sort of like your older brother who sneers at everything without understanding why. Infinite scorn for rules that they don't understand themselves. That's pretty good phlegm. I'm glad you're working on that. He's in my phlegm school, you know, the Johnny Most School of Phlegm. I shouldn't rag on Johnny Most because, you know, he's passed on and stuff, but, hey, what the hell, why not?
Oh, it's terrible. Oh, Johnny Most, if you want to come to the school of phlegm, you gotta send $15. And you gotta give it to the Boston Bruins. They're the greatest. Oh, you're not gonna do it. Oh, this is terrible.
Good job.
You know, every time I do that, I feel like I'm channeling Johnny somehow, and I have the immediate urge to go out and drink 3 shots of whiskey and smoke a carton of unfiltered Luckies. The city dump. Has anybody ever gone to the city dump? Or is this an archaic notion rooted firmly in Dick and Jane books in 1958? No, the city dump, it's still there, you know. Old automobile tires, old copies of the Boston Herald, you know, stuff like that. The city dump is like the church of landfill. Because all these people come in these banged up automobiles on Sundays, and they get down on their knees and they start scrabbling. They're a lot more devout than most churchgoers, I think. It's fashionable to say that you used to use drugs, but you don't use them anymore.
What?
Even though you do. So, even though I don't use drugs anymore, I will be unfashionable and claim that I do, even though I don't. But there's something I noticed in my long career, and that was that people on drugs notice everything. Yeah. Nice vomit. It glitters. It smells like a petunia. When I was in 8th grade, the coach taught sex education. You know, I guess, you know, he was useless for anything else, so they decided, well, what the hell, we might as well let him mold impressionable young minds and teach them sex education. So, you know, he'd say stuff like, you know, kids, the sexual act is not the best part of having sex. The best part of having sex is raising children and seeing them grow into mature adults, at which point,
They turn your back on you and you're a lousy fucking coach in some dipshit one-horse town second-rate high school.
no, but there was one kid in the class who actually stood up and said, every time I feel the urge to masturbate, I play the tuba. Trouble was, we couldn't understand what he was saying because his tongue had swollen up to the size of a pumpkin. I go out to see concerts. I went to see the band from New York who nobody's ever heard of, but everybody thinks is great because they grin and nod knowingly every time their name is mentioned, and if you want to pick up girls, pretend you like them. They were just called the band from because the rest wouldn't fit on the marquee. Needless to say, they sucked. They played behind a screen for 10 minutes, people threw bottles on them. They were out of there. Performance art. I'd like to tell you a few things that I believe before I wrap this segment of the show up. I believe the moon is like capitalism. It's big, it's white, it sits there and does nothing, and it has a lot of pull. And I believe that the sun is like communism. It's big, it's red, it burns everybody, and it's setting all over the world. I don't know if that's like a right-wing joke or not. I don't think so. I think it balances out. Maybe it's a libertarian populist joke or a radical centrist joke. I don't care. And now this word for the tropical resort, Bolivia. Come to Bolivia in the Anorexia Islands. You will walk in the fine white sands in your bare feet, for the natives will have stolen your shoes at the airport and eaten them in Bolivia. Official tropical resort. Now you know what not to do. Official tropical resort of the Miss America pageant. Hey, has anybody seen the rest of my barbells? My hood is a triaca. Triaca? Hey, it's round. Ahoy there! I'm Shit-Eye the Pirate! Hey man, homosexual, this dirty jacket and this dirty all whip. It's supposed to be a medallion, you see. See.
I'll tell you, man, those Green Bay Packers sure are rough. Gotta wear one of these.
Let's see. Can't think of anything else right now.
And now it's elimination frisbee.
Odd job. When did you get rid of your derby? And now, a very special secret cartoon. Why stop there?
I've got a fly's eye. There's 256 of you.
Wrong hero, your pathetic attempts at improvisation are really making us nauseous. But now this segment is called, What About the Children? Kids want junk food and poorly designed, ridiculous-looking clothing. Given half the chance, they would live in a filthy, waterlogged basement with no windows, just so long as they got Nickelodeon and Nintendo. Children need developmentally appropriate toys like guns, if they live in Florida, or semi-automatics if they live in housing projects. Children need to see their impotent, narcissistic fantasies reenacted daily by violent television role models, and that's where I come in. Hi, I'm the wrong hero. I had a job as a physical therapist, but they didn't like my slogan.
Get the light out, Quasimodo! Now! Move it, move it, move it, move it!
A clown is people's archaic notion of what used to be funny. You know, guy with a big red nose, frizzy hair, obviously an idiot, a drunk, frizzy hair, probably a couple, you know. But they had clowns in caveman days too, and the cavemen had hecklers.
Hey, you suck! I don't like the way you smear that shit on the wall. You should do it like this. Why aren't you more like glue over there?
Isn't it funny how those who have the least to say are the most popular? It's not a joke. Sorry. And now this word for car wax, which protects your car from the ozone layer. The ozone layer which your car just happened to erode. Sort of synchrony. I don't believe that, well, actually, I think I'm going to run for president on a platform of managed health care, but don't let me kiss your baby because you never know what diseases I might have. And kids, don't eat Tums. Suck all the chalk out of a blackboard eraser and use the money that you save to give an apple to the teacher. But don't give her a crab apple or she might get a tummy ache and you'll never get into Harvard. She'll write your recommendation. He tried to poison me! You might be able to get into Yale with that one, but not Harvard. You ever hear about that Rastafarian who took a guided tour of Buckingham Palace, broke through the line, and sat on the Queen's throne until, they, of course, they pulled him away, beating him with truncheons and other old-fashioned implements? Hey, man, I see the stars. What dope was that guy smoking, man? And oh, man, I can just imagine it.
I am King I.
At least for a microsecond. You know, with all this fuss about dinosaurs, I think it's a time to bring back Your Arms Are Too Short to Box with God, starring Tyrannosaurus Rex. Here's a little bit of proverbial advice. If it rains while the sun is shining, that means that somewhere a policeman is beating his wife. It's an old Russian proverb. I wouldn't lie to you. I wouldn't tell the truth to you either. They made me a criminal, but I sent him back because he wouldn't bend over fast enough to suit me. I went prospecting, and I found a man's fist the size of a gold nugget. And I later sold the idea to David Lynch, and he made Blue Velvet. And here's another message for the children. Kids, don't inhale helium. But if you do, you just might be able to fly. To fly! For that matter, in a similar vein, I think they should drop an atomic bomb on Antarctica so that the penguins there, for the very first time, could also fly. They could fly! Well, I think it flies straight up, you know. Dinosaurs are not kosher because they're over 6,000 years old. Think about it. So the next time somebody offers you a slab of Brontosaurus Rex, say no. I don't eat that threat. They're always talking about impressionable children. What about impressionable adults? They're the ones we really have to worry about. Kids don't do shit. You know, all they do is consume. Adults are the ones that run things. Let's worry about how impressionable they are for a change. Well, I'm winding down, so I'd just like to mention that this episode of The Wrong Hero was brought to you by Morton Salt. And our slogan is, we dig up big rocks and sell them to you. Morton Salt. And now I guess it's time to begin
Comedy on the Edge.
I am the wrong hero. Soldier, statesman, scholar, and beloved by those who know me best, the poor. And I'm the typical employee. I'm always 15 minutes late. I steal the milk from the coffee supply. I make clandestine outside calls on company time. I make jillions of Xerox copies, and I'm the typical employee. I like to paint pictures, but they're none too professional looking. Some people mistake them for modern art. I went to the art fair, and I tried to buy a still life, which was a picture of an apple with a picture of money. And so they showed me a picture of a policeman. So I threatened to go and get my picture of a lawyer. You know, they got this campaign against putting televisions in the subway. Like people who ride the subway aren't already the lowest form of life. I mean, like they don't already have to descend 50 feet underground. Hi, it's Satan! Dun, 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 you know, and subway musicians are even lower than that because they're down there, they're doing like 3 chords out of tune for like 18 hours a day. They make $500 an hour, and like they're complaining because they're gonna have to compete with a television set, for God's sakes. You know, if they can play louder than a squealing train pulling into the station at 40 miles an hour, they should be able to outplay a goddamn television set. They don't want the competition. I like to look at beta waves. I can't hear this. You know, so what is it with these people? Why don't they just admit that they're afraid of being out of a job by these television sets? But no, they don't say that. They say, big brother, me, afraid, no, can't have, conglomerates taking over. You know, why don't they just be honest, damn it, and admit that they're afraid of the competition? I had to get that off my chest. Another thing, men never attract the women that they really like. I want some fucking blonde, she's 6'6", you know, she's on the Olympic ski team, she's got bazooms the size of Atlanta, and what do I get? I either get the short, fat blondes with like page boy haircuts, or I get the little shrimpy midget women with black hair who are incredibly neurotic. They're like a chihuahua. I'm agoraphobic, we can't go to the restaurant. Let's stay at home and watch fucking television for 18 hours a day. You know, that's the kind I get. Because you gotta work to get the women you really want. And in this business, who has the time? I need to know. Another thing I hate the people who are obsessed with conspiracies. Because they're all out to get me. I'm the wrong hero. I'm not an atheist. I worship the god of easy money. You ever watch Wheel of Fortune? They're actually praying to their idol. You know, big money, big money. Hey, spin that idol. Big money, big money.
And now, big money. I invited big money into my house. We need more big money. All you poor people are needy. And we need you to send us your money. Because if you weren't so stupid, you wouldn't be so fucking poor. Big money.
And lest I offend the blues musician in the audience, I would like to mention that I think maybe blues are like the lowest form of music. When I was 23 years old, I too would smoke unfiltered cigarettes, drink whiskey, listen to 50-year-old black men complaining about floods, and feel sorry for myself. Now I'm 36 years old and I don't do any of that stuff except feel sorry for myself. Pretty soon I'll be 50 years old and I'll be singing about floods. But you know, I love the authentic blues music because the concerns still touch us today. Like Leadbelly singing about, I got a yellow gal I can't keep. You know, yeah, I have that problem all the time, I'm telling you. Shit, he's like,
On Monday morning, just about 9 o'clock, when that great ship went down, husbands and wives, children lost their lives. What you say when that great ship went down?
you know, the Challenger could have used like one of those guys to sing for it. You know? I think we should have kept the weapons and sold the Challenger to Iran. I know this joke is 10 years too late, but I think that's what we should have done. I'm the wrong hero, and I'm not reading from cheat sheets. I'm the fucking most intelligent comedian in the world! And you are beginning to bore me because you make me nervous. Because you're evil.
Evil. Evil. Evil. You're evil. You're evil. I ain't got no teeth, but I'm gonna sing in this phlegmy voice.
Good night.
Hi, I'm the wrong
Wrong Hero with a very important public service announcement. When you're up on stage, don't you just hate it when you hear,
You suck.
well, I have here my top 40 things to say whenever somebody says,
You suck.
what else do you want for Christmas?
You suck.
Is that your opinion or do you speak from personal experience?
You suck.
Don't worry, I only drink the blood of criminals.
You suck.
I love it when you talk dirty to me.
You suck.
I'm gonna file a lawsuit against you for on-the-job harassment.
You suck.
Only in private.
You suck.
I won't tell anybody if you don't.
You suck.
What are you, a talent scout?
You suck.
No, you have to go to San Francisco for that.
You suck.
Say something that proves you're a genius.
You suck.
I haven't tried it yet. Care to demonstrate?
You suck.
Excuse me, sir. They've already had the casting call for the Flintstones.
You suck.
Okay. Now stop pointing that knife at me.
You suck.
You voted for Perot, didn't you?
You suck.
It's people like you I want to kill. The hostile ones.
You suck.
You must try to control your urge to be superior.
You suck.
I'll write your resume for you if you don't behave.
You suck.
See me after the show. I'll give you a bumper sticker for your shopping cart.
You suck.
Sit down, little man. I'm talking.
You suck.
Suck my drug-laced nipples, earth filth.
You suck.
If you're looking for that kind of action, try the men's room.
You suck.
And you are an ant clustering at the pedestal of the Great One.
You suck.
But you swallow.
You suck.
I respect you, but not that much.
You suck.
$50.
You suck.
Have a sex change and we'll talk.
You suck.
And you have a neurotic need for attention out of all proportion to your ability to command it.
You suck.
Keep heckling. One more minute and I get paid overtime.
You suck.
It takes two.
You suck.
Never on the first date.
You suck.
After you.
You suck.
Who asked you, Mr. Fresh?
You suck.
Give the people what they want.
You suck.
Quiet! There might be an undercover vice cop in the room.
You suck.
No, I don't do requests.
You suck.
That's what I just said.
You suck.
Don't hold your breath.
You suck.
Do you have any other sexual fantasies I should know about?
You suck.
Very good. Now come back next week and we'll work on words of 2 syllables.
You suck.
Fuck you very much. I'm the Wrong Hero. And keep these in mind next time you're on stage and somebody heckles you. This has been a public service announcement by the Wrong Hero. People like to ask the Wrong Hero questions, like
What is your favorite hobby?
answering stupid questions. Or, for example,
What was your biggest mistake?
agreeing to do this interview.
What magazine cover would you like to appear on?
Guns and ammo.
What was your nickname as a child?
Little Deathy.
What is your worst phobia?
Being asked what I'm afraid of.
Are you human?
I don't know and I don't care.
What is your favorite holiday?
July 3rd. Slavery Day.
Do you have any scars on your body?
No, only on my soul.
Who should be our next president?
Me. But because of a little misunderstanding, I lost my right to vote.
What do you pray for?
To impress God with my piety.
What's wrong with music?
You can hear it.
What's a good question to ask yourself?
What am I doing here, and why can't I do it any faster?
What's your most memorable religious experience?
Playing God.
What was your biggest accomplishment in high school?
Finally getting toilet trained.
What's the worst you ever been ripped off?
Somebody sold me a wooden nutmeg.
What fad would you like to see come back?
Wooden nutmegs.
What are you going to do when you get around to it?
Stop having nervous breakdowns and have calm breakdowns instead.
What's the most beautiful place you've ever been?
The White Light District during the first of my many near-death experiences.
What's the most unique part of your body?
My brain, or what's left of it.
What's your favorite way to get around?
Rickshaw.
What would be your dream bill?
Me on a mountain with Washington, Jefferson, Lincoln, and Teddy Roosevelt.
What is your least favorite food?
Ants, termites, and mealworms. Because I remember how good ants, termites, and mealworms used to taste before they started adding all them artificial chemicals and preservatives. That's why.
What would you do if you were president?
Nationalize salad bars.
If you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go?
If I could go anywhere in the world, I would go to purgatory. 'Cause hell's too crowded and heaven's too far away for me.
What's the best job you ever had?
Throwing gasoline onto fires. But it's not a job. It's more like a hobby.
What was your greatest accomplishment?
I took a tip straight from the horse's mouth. It was all soggy and it smelled bad.
What's your favorite show on TV?
When I turn it off and look at my reflection.
What would you call the movie of your life?
Static.
How do you keep in shape?
I carry a cross.
What do you collect?
Dust.
What's the best food to use during sex?
Super glue is the best food to use during sex.
What sports did you play in high school?
Air hockey.
What's your favorite thing to do in the spring?
My favorite thing to do in the spring? Rain on parades.
Ever been in a bad car accident?
I've never been in a bad car accident, but I've been in dozens of good ones.
Wrong hero, who cuts your hair?
Who cuts my hair? A pit bull.
Wrong.
No, right.
What was your worst drug-related experience?
My worst drug-related experience? My relatives are all alcoholics.
What was your most embarrassing moment?
My most embarrassing moment was when I was on the cross and they offered me a sponge soaked in wine and I couldn't accept it because I'm a recovering alcoholic.
Who do you think you are?
Shut up! That's who I am. Okay, any more questions?
Do you ever jog?
I used to. Now I run on a hamster wheel in the privacy of my own cage. Thank you.
Do you believe in life on other planets?
I'm not even sure life is possible on this planet.
What are your work habits?
I like to take a 5-minute work break every 2 minutes or so.
Some people say you're crazy.
Meow.
What is your blood type?
B negative. Also my personal philosophy. Okay, let's wrap this up. Any more questions?
What is your message to your fans?
My message to my fans? Back off, vampires, and keep your hands off the material.
Wrong hero. Why?
Because you are beginning to bore me.
Why? Why? Why?
Because you're beginning to make me nervous. Nervous. Nervous.
Why?
Because you're evil. 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 Evil.